Supercars invasion did continue with Cam Waters. You see him down there in 30th. Unfortunately, he got beat up a little bit, had a busted radiator, ended up with a DNF. But Fox reported he's going to be back at Kansas. Still waiting for official confirmation from both either him or ThorSport Racing, rather, as to what future plans might look like. But Brandon, obviously, this was one heck of a track to prove or to choose to make your Truck Series debut here, or your NASCAR debut entirely. What track can you think of that you would like to see Waters, if he does decide to come back and make a second attempt here in the Truck Series? Where would you like to see him, considering that COTA was the only road course this year?
Yeah, that really stinks that we've already hit our only road course when we've got some Supercars guys coming over and wanting to try their hand at the tough trucks of NASCAR. Looking at the schedule ahead, I'm glad he's getting Kansas because, at least it's basically the next one up that they'd be able to schedule May 4th, as Texas is literally just next weekend, this coming Friday. If I wanted to put someone from Australia on the schedule, why not do it the same way that Shane Van Gisbergen got his start with IRP at Lucas Oil Raceway Park? Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park is the proper name there. Why not get it started there? I can't think of a different place. Certainly not Talladega. I don't think we want to put him at Talladega. Just because of the wildness of that track. I don't know if that's a good start for him. Would you consider, after Kansas, if that goes well, would you consider immediately the next race like Darlington or North Wilkesboro? What do you think that would end up being like? Just another dud or a time to learn?
Yeah, well, I think, North Wilkesboro would be, again, it's a short track similar to what he just experienced here. Maybe not quite as tight as Martinsville is, but
it's repaved.
Yeah. I'd like to see a 1.5 miles. I think Kansas would be a great next step, and certainly that's predominantly the type of oval racing that he would see if he were to make this a full-time effort in the same way that SVG has. So I think Kansas would be a great place for him to kind of get his feet wet and make his 1.5 mile debut. I think that would be a great pick. Again, I'd love to be able to say, oh, he should do Mid-Ohio, he should do Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. It's a perfect fit. But again, we've already hit our quota for the year on road courses, and again, that's a little bit frustrating to see, because even with the stage breaks coming back, I think if we're gonna make these teams build a road course setup truck, it does seem, why are we only bringing them out once a year? It seems like a lot of effort for only a one-time thing.
It's a big problem, because now I was more and more realizing that whenever we saw what happened with Circuit of the Americas, how the team that won, and they built the truck for road course racing. So really it favors those who have more in their pocketbook, the teams that have more budget in the R&D center to have a greater advantage at the one track on the schedule, which if you look at it, with the fewest races on the calendar for the lowest series, they have a better chance of locking themselves inside the playoffs with less chances for other drivers to lock their way in.
Yeah, well, that's another good point as well. If you get an opportunity, and I'm sure ThorSport is certainly no small team. They're the defending champions with Ben Rhodes, for crying out loud. But that it's going to take a ride with a team like that to have a shot at running well. If that's the situation that you have, where the big teams can afford to go all in on one race and spend those extra dollars and resources building a truck like that, whereas the smaller teams, you kind of just take what you can afford to bring, and is it really worth it trying to go through all that extra effort for just one road course race a year? So again, that's a scheduling aspect that I think they should look at if we're going to put the trucks on road courses, which I think it would be nice to add that variety of a Truck Series schedule a couple times a year, but I think it should be at least a couple times a year, if not a few times. Just once, and if it's going to be just once, I don't know, COTA is necessarily the best option for that either, but we'll see. Obviously the schedule always changes a little bit year to year, like that with the lower series. So I'm sure there are plenty of great options, but it's just a matter of actually finding a spot for them on the schedule. Motorsport.com, this is what they reported him as saying: it was definitely wild, but I loved it. It was a lot of fun. everyone was kind of into each other a bit, and the racing is pretty hard. And then the article talks about how Fox Sports reported that he's going to be back for Kansas. And this is what Waters said in regards to that. At the moment, it is only tonight. I have a pretty busy schedule of Supercars, and I just wanted to get through tonight and see where we were at. We will look at a calendar and see what we can do from here. So, again, maybe it's just a matter of deals have to be finalized and contracts need to be signed, and it's basically all but official at this point. Maybe it's just he didn't want to reveal it prematurely, but this definitely sounds like somebody that enjoyed his experience and wants to come back and doesn't want this to just be we can check it off the list and it's a one and done. He seems to be pretty serious about giving this another go as well.